Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Curious Dove. So today we're going to talk about a pretty huge update for GitHub Copilot. This is something that takes it way beyond just suggesting the next line of code. We're talking about it becoming a true partner that can orchestrate big tasks. Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? You've got this complex task, maybe a big refactor, and you think, hey, I'll use my AI assistant. But then you spend the next hour just babysitting it. You're constantly reprompting, correcting it, reminding it of the context it just lost. It's frustrating. Well, that exact problem is what GitHub's new planning mode is designed to solve.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at what this new superpower is all about. Then we'll peek under the hood to see how the planning engine actually works. After that, it's setup time. I'll show you how to get it running in both Visual Studio and VS Code. And finally, we'll talk about the results and what this all means for the future of coding. Right, let's get into it. So, what is this new superpower? Well, it's called planning. And honestly, it's about changing Copilot from just a code completer into a real task orchestrator. This slide really nails the difference. Think about it. The classic Copilot, on the left, is kind of like a black box. You give it a prompt, you cross your fingers, and code comes out. You don't really know how it got there. But with planning, on the right, it's completely different. It's proactive. It actually looks at your code, builds a visible step-by-step plan, and then it acts. The mystery's gone. So let's define planning a bit more clearly. The key idea here is that when you give it a big task, say, refactor this entire service to use a new data transfer object, it doesn't just start spitting out code anymore. No, it actually stops. It thinks. It creates a plan that you can literally see, outlining how it's going to tackle the problem. This means the results are way, way more predictable. Okay, so how does this all work under the hood? How does it go from a black box to this transparent planner? Let's dig into the actual mechanics of the planning engine. It's basically a three-step dance. First up is request analysis. Copilot looks at what you asked for and decides, is this simple or is this complex? If it's simple, you get code right away. But if it's complex, it kicks into step 2, plan creation. This is where it generates that detailed multi-step plan. And only after that plan is made does it move to step 3, execution, where it works through each step one by one. Now, this part is really cool, and it's the key to the whole transparency thing. When Copilot makes a plan, it actually creates 2 files behind the scenes. First, there's a markdown file, which is for you. It's a human-readable checklist of what it's going to do. Then there's a JSON file, and this is for the AI. Think of it like its own internal scratchpad. It uses this to track its progress, manage state, and basically avoid losing context. You know, that thing that drives us all crazy. And here's the real magic, the secret sauce. It's something called closed-loop planning. What does that mean? It means Copilot isn't just a robot blindly following a script. After every single step, it stops and observes the result. Did a test just break? Did the compiler throw an error? It takes that feedback and uses it to adjust the rest of the plan on the fly. It's adaptive, which is just crucial for any real-world coding. Okay, theory is great, but let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually turn this on? We'll start with Visual Studio, where you can try this out right now as a public preview. It's super simple, seriously. First things first, make sure you're on the latest version of Visual Studio 2022. That's version 17.14 or newer. Then you just go to the main menu, Tools, then Options. In that window, find the GitHub section, go to Copilot, and there it is. Just check the box that says Enable Planning. Boom, you're done. All right, what about all you VS Code folks? Don't worry, you're not left out. The process is just a little different. For you, this feature comes in the form of a special plan agent inside the VS Code Insiders build. So in VS Code, it's a bit more hands-on. You need the Insiders build, of course. Then you open up Copilot Chat. And here's the important part. In the chat dropdown, you need to switch from the default agent to the plan agent. Then you give it your task. Now, unlike in Visual Studio, it won't just start working. It will propose a plan first, and you have to review it and explicitly approve it before it touches any of your code. Pretty cool, right? You get that final say? So, we know what it is and how to set it up. But the real question is, does it actually work? Is it better? Well, according to Microsoft's own testing, the answer is a resounding yes. Check this out, a 15% higher success rate on complex tasks. Now, 15% might not sound like a giant leap, but think about what that actually means in your day-to-day. It means fewer failed runs, less time tweaking your prompts, and just more trust that it's going to work on the first try. That's a huge win. And it's not just about succeeding more often, it's about seeing things through to the end. The benchmarks also showed it was able to completely resolve 20% more tasks from start to finish. That's a massive boost in reliability, especially for those gnarly multi-file jobs that usually make AI assistants just give up. And here's what's really fascinating. These performance gains, the 15 and 20% improvements, they showed up no matter which AI model they tested it with. This tells us something huge. The improvement isn't just because of a smarter AI model. The real hero here is the planning system itself. It's the framework that's making the difference, not just the brain inside it. So let's wrap all that up. What does this mean for us, the developers using it? Well, first, you get full transparency. You see the plan. Second, that means more predictable results and an audit trail of what it did. Third, and maybe most importantly, less of that AI babysitting. And finally, it means we have a tool that's actually built to handle the really complex stuff, big refactors, migrations, you name it. And make no mistake, the team at Microsoft sees this as way more than just a cool new feature. I love this quote from Riya Patel, the product manager on the team. She says, "This is the foundation of planning-driven development in Visual Studio. It's not an add-on, it's a new foundation." And that foundation is building towards a future that they're calling intent-driven development. The whole idea is that our jobs shift a little bit. Instead of focusing on writing every single line of code, we focus on defining the what, the high-level goal, our intent. And then we let a smart AI agent powered by a system like this handle the how. So really, this is more than just a tool to make us faster. It feels like the start of a real paradigm shift. And it leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? Are you ready to go from just writing code to orchestrating intent? It's a big thought. I'm really curious to see where this all goes. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, stay curious.